ultimate legacy builder. Power Talk is a movement, not just a show. Join us to explore life's challenges, share success stories, and uncover profit secrets from top experts and innovators. Get inspired, gain confidence, and elevate your business and life. Dare to be you and step into your greatness with Power Talk. Thanks for connecting with Dr. B. Let's create a lasting legacy together.
Llamándome, muéstrame el camino que yo voy. Tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal. Me voy acercando y voy armando el plan. Solo con pensarlo me acelera el pulso. Y ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todos mis sentidos van pidiendo más.
Hello everyone. I am so happy to be here today on Power Talk Radio Show on Radio Metroplex here in the capital of Arlington, Texas, where we have spectacular events, entertainment, and sports. And I'm so excited because Radio Metroplex has something amazing happening. They have the World Cup coming here to the Arlington, Texas area, and it's something remarkable. It's going to be historical, and you have to stay tuned because it's all going to take place where Radio Metroplex is going to be featuring it and talking about the World Cup of 2026. And not only that, I have an amazing friend and business partner here that came to visit me yesterday, Dr. Donna. Yes, say yay, Donna.
Thank you.
Thank you. She's here because we're going to be in San Antonio in a conference. And at the same time, we have, we've been planning since last night. We went to sleep very late, working on our business plan, and we're going to continue. And today we're going to share a little bit of what we're doing. And I'm going to let her introduce herself.
So I am Dr. Donna, and thank you for having me back on your show, Dr. B. Can you see the toothpicks and the moving eyes?
I know.
Oh my goodness. So I own Inspiring Leaders, where I coach leaders in education, leaders in all realms, really, and do leadership development training. And I also work for a company called Curriculum Associates, which is what initially brought me to Texas. Mm-hmm. And then we have the ASCD conference coming up next. Actually, we're leaving tomorrow to go down to San Antonio. So I called Angelica and I said, why don't I just stay the whole time and I'll come work with you and we'll make some late nights of it. So that's what we're doing.
And that's what we did. So we've been working and planning, dreaming and building the business. And you know, we have like our separate businesses, but then we kind of come together and we create not only events, we're going to have some events coming soon, but we've published some books. We started with Et Matadores, and we went to Vegas to the Educational 2.0, and we had an exhibition there. Mm-hmm. And then we connected with amazing leaders most of them from the U.S., right?
Most of them from the U.S. We had someone from Germany. Mm-hmm. That we had one from up in Canada.
Yes.
Who had started her own school. So we've met really incredible people who are doing amazing things in education. Mm-hmm. So Dr. B and I met. If you haven't heard the story,
we need to tell them the story. Yes.
So we were part of Shelley Jorgensen's executive networking events group, and we would meet online weekly. And then we went on a retreat, a week-long retreat, and we got to stay in Northern Ireland
in a castle. With Duke. Was it Duke? Or he's not a Duke?
No, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think it was the Duke.
Yeah, I think he's a Duke. And it was in a castle, and it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, up in Chrome Castle.
We mastermind, networked, and of course, during the mastermind, we found out that we had similar alignments and visions of revolutionizing educational systems.
Yes.
And we started talking, and we said, we need to connect. And then here we are.
Here we are, 2 years later, more than 2 years later.
More than 2 years.
And so, shall we do a drum roll of what our next thing is?
Yes, we should.
All right.
Ready to roll.
So, go ahead. Tell them what we're up to.
Well, we have another book because the second one was Educational Luminaries.
Yeah.
And we had another group of authors join us in writing how they would transform and help support the educational system, because there's a lot of hurdles, as you know, in education, and we have these beliefs of we've been doing this for 20 years, 10 years, and guess what?
Our kids still aren't
Yeah,
performing the way they should. And
they're not performing.
kids are falling through the cracks, and it can be different. My son, he's successful in what he's doing now, but he despised school. Hated school with a passion. And I was afraid every day of the week and weekend, from the time he was in 7th or 8th grade all the way through high school, that I would be an educator with a PhD who had a high school dropout. And he did finish high school by the skin of his teeth in some of the areas. But education could have been really different for him. And it should be. We have to make shifts. We're not dealing with the same learners we were designing our education programs for a century ago. And honestly, our classrooms, I've been in dozens of schools, dozens and dozens, probably hundreds of schools. And most of them, not all of them, and most classrooms, but not all of them, look very much the same as they did when I was in school, with students in rows, head in their hands, listening to the teacher drone on and on. It's like the Peanuts cartoon. And kids now, they're looking for the relevance. They want to know why they need to learn all of these things. They can focus on things. My son used to tell me all the time, Mom, everything I need to know, I can look up on this. I can look it up on my phone. I can YouTube it. I can type it into Google. It's going to tell me what I need. And he's absolutely right. So we have to shift how we do school for our kids to make it relevant, to make it meaningful, to make it equitable, so the kids get out of it what they need.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're going to be bored. So what we need to do is we need to flip the script. Like
Just like that.
Yeah, flip it. Whatever way you want to. But we have to be innovative and figure out what is working and then what is not really working, so that we could really flip it. And I know a lot of times they're saying, teachers and educators are thinking, well, we've already tried this and we've tried that and it doesn't work and it keeps coming back. And so I think the innovation and technology is a big piece, like you mentioned. We have to incorporate it, and it has to be a lot of interactive teaching, and where students can actually move around and explore, because they get bored very easy. I mean, they are
Even
in the
we
flow.
do.
We do.
We do as adults, but we want
I
our
know.
kids to sit in a seat for 40 minutes and
I know.
listen.
You know what? We were planning, and I think in a period of 30 minutes, I was like, wait a minute. And then I would go off like squirrel, and I just go off to something else and then come back and I say, I have to take care of this otherwise. So can you imagine, as an adult, I'm doing that frequently, and our students get distracted so easily. So how can we sustain their attention, their interest, and to activate learning?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we know that there are a lot of educators out there who are doing innovative things, that their kids are eating learning out of the palm of their hands because they have figured out ways to engage them, ways to meet their needs, ways to tap into their interests and build off of it, to tap into their abilities and build more abilities within them. But they're far and few between. So we are on a mission to find as many of these innovative educators as we can. Get your stories documented in our books. We made a big decision finally, which long term we were hoping that we would get to the point where we could do 2 books a year. We have our next 2 titles figured out and the months of when they'll be published. So more information to come. But our next title will be Educational Luminaries. Flipping the script
of learners
for learners of today and tomorrow.
There you go.
We're just learning our title.
Yeah, we were working on it all day today, going back and forth with what titles to go with. But we really feel that this is going to fit the next group of authors, and that's probably you, that if you're watching. We are doing a call to all leaders in different areas and fields, because we feel that you might have that key, that secret key that is going to unlock on how can we flip the script for learners.
Yeah, so you may be an entrepreneur and you're contributing to education because you've partnered with a school somehow. You might be an educator who you know that you don't fit the mold in your school. Like you are stand out and people look at you and go, what on earth is she doing or he doing? But your kids can't get enough of being in your classrooms. We're looking for you. We're looking for leaders who have successfully turned schools around and taken achievement from, 20% proficient or lower all the way up to 70% or higher within a few years. There are really special things going on. You might be a leader of a charter school or a micro school who has a really innovative design, and you're graduating kids or you're getting kids through and they are rocking it. We want to hear your stories. You might be a parent or even a student who is experiencing something finally that is finally meeting your needs or is really working for you. We want to hear your story. We want to hear your story if you were that kid who was like my son and hated school. What would you have wanted in your classroom? We want to hear from you.
And I know maybe some of you don't know this, but I hated school. I was the student that was falling through the cracks. In fact, I was in a monolingual classroom, speaking only Spanish at the house. So when I would come to school, I had no idea what they were saying. I was completely lost, and I was falling behind because I was pulled out of the classroom, and they really didn't know how to teach us at that time. So it was more like puzzles and coloring and baby, activities instead of really teaching us on how to learn. So I fell behind a lot. And then I really self-taught myself and tried to discover how do people learn. And that's how I got into human development. I got into the learning theories to really dive deep into figuring out why did they learn and why was I not learning. So I have all that in these books, so you need to go get them. We have Ed Matadores and Ed Luminaries already out on Amazon, so go get the books.
And we know that there is over a century of research on how kids learn. And educators are taught this. They know the information. You can quiz them on it. They know who Piaget is.
Yes.
They know who Benjamin Bloom is. And they know all the theorists and the theories, but they've never learned in formats that actually utilize those formats. or they'll learn a couple techniques and they'll use them occasionally instead of every single day. And so those are some of the basic things that we just want to shift. And we know that schools that have really successful students, they've already figured out the key, and we want to hear from them.
Now, the other thing that we're doing, we're going into districts. So if you are a district leader, either a principal or an executive leader, you might want to contact us, because we can come into your school and help with the turnaround.
Absolutely.
And it's not only us. We have all these amazing authors and other people that we are connecting with that are trainer of trainers that will either come and coach, model, consult in your district. So
absolutely. And we have we've got early childhood education, career and technical education, competency-based or standards-based grading and learning, different models and modes for schools. We've got, executive coaches. We
special
have
education training, co-teaching.
Absolutely.
Revamping the resource setting when you're actually pulling kids out. How is it going to look? How are you really going to make the impact, right?
Yeah. So, and also another one that isn't often talked about, but is really needed in a lot of our urban centers, urban schools, is we actually have someone who has successfessfully gotten kids out of gangs.
Yes.
So gang intervention and violence diversion, that's a hot topic thing, and there's not many people who've been successful at doing some of these things that our authors have done and have been doing, and they're doing the work. And we're approved vendors in a couple districts already and regions here in Texas, up in New York State, and we'll see what else this brings.
So we have like a big global opportunity for us, for the educational systems, and then also for those leaders that are looking to publish and be in our books, and or even become a trainer and a consultant with us. So the opportunity is there. You just have to be able to reach out, and then we need to kind of talk and see how you can fit into what we're doing.
And we have a public community that's open for people to join on LinkedIn. It's, I got to remember the name of it. We'll send out the name. We'll post it. we'll post it underneath. But we'll send the direct link for that. But we're also working on a private group where the authors will be in there. But I think we haven't gotten that far yet, but we'll figure out ways that we can bring other people in through membership.
Exactly. So we're really excited because it's a lot of work. Things are coming together faster than our fingers and our brain can probably think and move. Because Donna was talking last night, and my eyes were like kind of shutting already.
I was raring to go.
Yeah, but we're here, and I'm really excited, Donna.
Yeah.
I mean, we've come a long way from the time we met, from it only being a dream and an idea, to actually seeing the contracts, seeing the authors and the books being published. It's really exciting.
Absolutely. It's really incredible. And we're not, yes, we want to make a living doing this, but honestly, it's about the impact. It's about making sure that our future generations are tooled with the things that they need for a future that we can't even imagine. I mean, decades and decades ago, we thought we'd have electric cars. We now have electric cars all over. Decades and decades ago, we thought we would have like computers that could come up with images and replicate voices. Well, we have it now. Artificial intelligence is here, and it's accessible, and our kids need to be able to use it and understand it, which requires us to use it and understand it That's a big shift. It's scary.
Mhm.
The internet came. Well, first of all, personal computers came. We didn't want them in our schools because why on earth would our kids ever need to use a computer?
Mhm.
So we fought that for decades.
And now we're fighting AI on our phones and having phones being used in the school.
Yeah. Technology the computers didn't go away.
Mhm.
Email didn't go away.
No.
The internet didn't go away. AI is not going anywhere. It's only going to expand more and more beyond where we can even imagine.
Mhm.
And we have to prepare our kids for that.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I used to watch the Jetsons when I was growing up. And I love the idea when they would be doing that FaceTime conversations with other people. And we had no idea that would truly exist. And of course, the flying cars that they
Yes.
had. So whoever created the Jetsons had that bigger picture and the bigger vision of what was happening now in the future. But I think that our schools still see the Jetsons as something that's just in the movies. And we're here to do like a wake-up call. No! It's not. Like the reality is here. AI is here. FaceTime is here. The computers, the laptops, the Chromebooks are here. There's a lot of careers that we've been talking to some of these leaders, and there are positions where we are not educating our kids to fit and go into those positions.
Right. And we need to be.
And we need to.
And so those are the types of educators who are visionary that we have in our books and that we recruit for our future books.
Yeah. So if you're one of them, then you need to reach out so you can be in our books and maybe be one of our trainers. Right.
We don't have all of the answers. We have some
We
of
don't.
them. We have a vision, but it's going to take a whole community of these innovators to come together so that we can complete each other and not compete,
There
as
you
the
go.
infamous Dr. Robbie Motter says.
I know. So that's exactly what we're hoping to do, is bring you on board, or for you to bring us on your campus, your district, so that we can help and support you.
Absolutely. It would
It's
be an
gonna be
honor
exciting.
to be able to help and support any of
Yeah.
you.
I just wanted to go through some of these individuals right here. Let me see. We have
Here, you do that one. I'll look
Okay.
at this one.
So in educational luminaries, we have our famous Dr. Jaya did the foreword for us. So thank you, Dr. Jaya, if you're watching us. And then we had Dr. Donna. Her topic was living through culture responsivity. Sorry.
Well, that was just the forward.
Oh, that was the foreword.
That was just the forward and why we made the shift
Oh, okay.
from
That's right.
Ed Matadores to educational luminaries. And ultimately, our schools they don't just have the white kids or the white girls and boys. They have all children, all colors, all sizes, all abilities. They have everyone. And if we want to be truly culturally responsive and meet the needs of all of our kids, which we really need to be doing, then we decided as a group, and we actually asked our authors of this book for advice, and we all determined that if we're going to say that we're culturally responsive and we're promoting equity and we're going to meet the needs of all of our students, then we have to model that. And that is one of the reasons that we shifted the title a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, the title was a little interesting. Maybe we want to talk about it, like the conversations. The conversations were going back and forth because a matador is the one that's in the bullfight, right? He's the one that's gonna go and stab the bull. And in our perspective, it's like we wanted to not stab like to kill, but to kind of cut and get rid of the hurdles and the things that were not working. But symbolically, I think it could have offended some people because they were thinking like, poor animals, you're pro killing animals, and we're not.
We're not.
It was very
Not at all.
symbolic, and it was killing the systems and not people or anything. And then we also saw that the teachers were being burned out, right? So it was the bull being stabbed in many ways of do this and do that and meet the standards of the test, and them kind of wanting to do everything, but then feeling the pain of, how do I do this?
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know about you.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it's similar to what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
But teachers are some of the hardest, most caring people that I know in the world. And I'm getting chills as I say this. I don't know a single teacher who entered education thinking, I'm really going to mess kids' lives up.
Yeah.
Right? Teachers truly, at the heart, want to make a difference. And our system, the way it is, the federal government, the state governments, they all make all these laws and they're throwing everything at the teachers and they have to do this and they have to do that. And we're grappling with all of these personalities. And we are in a crisis right now. We don't have enough teachers to fill our classrooms. The number of people who are going into teaching to become a teacher or a certified teacher are dwindling very quickly, and so quickly that education preparation programs are shutting down across the country because they can't fill their seats. And that is a huge problem. So we don't even have enough people coming into the profession to replace these teachers who have been burnt out. These teachers deserve respect.
Yeah, they do.
And they work hard every single day. And even if they're not getting it all right, they're trying to. And I know this from personal experience. I know this from leading teachers. And as hard as we are on our teachers, they still keep coming in because they love our kids.
And I think one of the things that we're doing is that we're teaching to the test, especially in Texas. I don't know about
in
other
New York
states,
for sure.
Instead of preparing our kids for the future, right? We're just teaching to the test, making sure they pass this state test. And if they don't, then they have to retake it. And then teachers are penalized. And so that whole story about the title, that's where it kind of was going.
It really, and it struck a nerve with some people, which we also talked about, like, that's kind of the purpose. Like, we want to strike a nerve. We need things to change, but we also didn't want to shut people down so that they didn't want to even look at our book, or because that wasn't the purpose. The purpose was, we really want to excite you by all of these great things that we know are happening in education that we can replicate. We can learn to replicate. We can learn to revise our policies and our laws from, and really make things better.
So, I mean, that's exciting. That now our book, it's Educational Luminaries, and that's what we're looking for, so that we can go ahead and make impact. Now we have Alejandra Lopez. She wrote The Courage to Speak Up. And that's exactly what we're doing. We have to have the courage to speak up and stand up for what we think is wrong and for the changes that need to happen. It's hard.
Absolutely. Now, Alexandra was one of my college friends. We were RAs together. And she's actually the one that brought this whole issue of Matador to our attention. And it took a lot of courage. So we offered her the opportunity to write kind of an introduction and a foreword in our book, to set the stage for why we were shifting that the title, but also to set the stage for why it's so important for people to listen to these voices, right? So when something like this title, meaning killer, is striking a chord with someone and it's turning someone off, they deserve to be heard. Whether we agree with them or we don't agree with them, we have to model what we want our government to be doing right now, right? They're not listening. They're not even listening to each other.
Exactly.
And so we've got to be modeling that. And
yeah,
we have to be open.
So, yeah. So it's a tough call, but it has to happen. And then we had, what is it? AI literacy of leadership. Also, our author is Lucas. How do I pronounce it? Ceccarelli? Yes.
I think it's
Ceccarelli. Yeah. So, Luca. He talks about that.
I'm so sorry, Luca, if we mispronounced your name.
Sorry, Luca.
We didn't learn it very well.
No.
And we need to go back and relearn his name because names are important.
Yes, they are. Yeah, and then we have Yesenia Reynoso. She's bridging the gap by reintegrating media literacy into the public education. So it's an amazing topic because, like we were saying, technology is key in the educational system, and we need to learn how do you integrate that. Absolutely. So her piece is on communication and media.
And why that communication needs to be taught in schools. Our kids are on social media. They're branding themselves right now for their future.
They are.
And that's part of her messaging is how do we teach kids about branding? How do we teach kids to be really thoughtful about what they're posting and to be able to understand that?
Yeah. So, even by kids, I mean, as they were growing up, I was taking them to training and I was always talking about entrepreneurship and marketing and lectured all the time on my business. And guess what? Now they're successful entrepreneurs and they're very young entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
My son, Diego, is only 23 and he is a master sales closer. I mean, he will sell something and he can close immediately. Like, we were talking about maybe even bringing him on to our sales team so that he can help us because he is an amazing
Maybe he
youngster.
can teach one of our sessions at our event when we launch the next book, which will be another upcoming thing.
Exactly. And
because we're doing a conference, really. It's a summit. It's an educational luminary summit for edupreneurs and educational leaders in that space. We will have professional development. We will have networking opportunities. We're going to have a little fun, mix a little fun in with some learning, and I can't wait. And then to celebrate the authors, as we always do, with a nice little red carpet.
So we're looking at dates. I do have a date, though, for my Alive and Beautiful, which is November 14th, and Diego and Andrea are always my master of ceremonies. And I'm so excited, and we're hoping and planning on how we can bring in some of these authors. So we'll see. We're still in the planning stage, but finger crossed because it would be November 14th through the 16th. And the event is hot. It's hot. People, last time we had more than 200 people attending the Alive and Beautiful. And then during the workshops and everything, there were more than 60 people coming to the workshop. So we had our numbers, really good numbers show up that were showing up. So I'm excited. And, oh my God, I keep saying exciting because I am. And we've been looking at a lot of how do we change our words, So,
if you have better words for us, let us know.
Let us know. But I really am because we have contracts. We've been subcontracting people. We were looking for co-authors. If you want to be a speaker, a presenter, then you need to join us. I have the World Book Tour coming. I'm going to be going to Africa next month, and then we're going to be in Germany. Hopefully we'll launch one of these books in Germany, and then here in Texas. So much is happening. That's why the excitement is there. And it's an opportunity, guys, that if you jump on now, you can grow with us and blossom. I'm telling
Absolutely.
you. It's hot,
Absolutely.
hot.
And it keeps getting hotter.
It keeps getting hotter.
It's kind of like Texas right now.
Yeah, I know. So, anyways, anything else before we leave?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we covered a lot of bases. Just know that our next book, we're getting ready to promote it within the next couple days. We'll be starting to promote it at the conference down in San Antonio at ASCD. That's Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development. We're kind of educational nerds, if you haven't figured that out yet. And
we volunteered to
Yes.
be there and support them.
Absolutely.
And I want to say that because when you're probably thinking, well, we're big, we've already made it there. And it's like, no, even if we've made it, we still support people, and we're going to go support them. We're going to learn many, many things. And at the same time, we're going to network and connect. So if you're in San Antonio, we'll be there tomorrow after. We're going to be at the Women Yes You Can conference with Maida Reynolds. Tomorrow is her event. It's going to be amazing, the second year. So if you want to join us, today's the last day to register. And then from there, we're going to take off to San Antonio, and we're going to be there until July 3rd. So if you want to connect with us, we're going to have a day that we're going to meet up at a certain restaurant, and then we're going to post it so you'll know. And connect with us because we're going to be there.
Absolutely.
Love it.
I love it. Let's support our kids. Let's make it together. We'll be able to make an impact. We can't do it by ourselves. Education's too big. It's probably the second largest system that we have in the world, second only to healthcare. Education touches everybody in some way.
Yeah, because we're developing and creating our future leaders.
Yeah.
So
people who are going to take care of me in 40 years,
Yeah.
So I'm going to live a long time.
I know.
Those poor people.
I know. So we're really glad that you're here with us. So here is the thing. Every Friday, I know I tell you this, every Friday at 5 p.m. Central, Power Talk should be here. But if I'm not here, follow me on my social media because I will be somewhere in the world. We will be in San Antonio. Then I'm going to be in Laredo. I'll be in Africa. And you should follow me because the stories are amazing. And I will be introducing amazing leaders. We're going to connect with some kings and queens in the Africa tribes. And it's going to be really interesting to connect with them and try, hopefully, to interview them so that you can get to know a little bit about them and their culture.
Yeah,
so
that'll be great.
That's going to be great. Anyways, thank you so much. And I'm here on Power Talk every Friday at 5 p.m. Central in Radio Metroplex, the capital of Arlington, Texas, which is we have sports, entertainment. ¿Y qué? Espectáculos. Sí, pero el espectáculo siempre no sé cómo decirlo. ¿Cómo se dice espectáculo? No, es el deportes, sports, shows, and entertainment. Okay, there you go. And the World Cup. Yes, we cannot miss the World Cup. It's coming here to Arlington, Texas, and we're going to mark the history in our city. So stay tuned because businesses and you will be growing and glowing. See ya. Hasta luego.
Power Talk Productions presents Dr. B, the ultimate legacy builder. Power Talk is a movement, not just a show. Join us to explore life's challenges, share success stories, and uncover profit secrets from top experts and innovators. Get inspired, gain confidence, and elevate your business and life. Dare to be you and step into your greatness with Power Talk. Thanks for connecting with Dr.